All right, now we're going to do another example, but in this case, the leading coefficient is not 1, okay? So also, this is not in standard form, so we're going to want to change this around. So we're going to want the y squared first. So this is going to be 10y squared plus 27y plus 5, right? Now also something I want to mention that I didn't mention last time is the first thing you always want to look for whenever you're factoring is a greatest common factor. We didn't do that in the last example. There wasn't one, but again, the greatest common factor here is 1, right? There's no common factor bigger than 1 here. So we don't have to factor, so there's nothing to factor out using the greatest common factor. And then now we notice here that it is quadratic. It's a quadratic trinomial. And so now the thing is again, when we're splitting this, we've got to split this in a way where the first term and the last term are going to be given. Okay, so now for the 10y squared, right? Well, the 10y squared could be equal to, well, we could factor that into, well, the 10 can be 1 and 5. The y can be split, right, among the two factors, right? So we get 1 and, oops, not 1 and 5, 1 and 10, or we get 2 and 5, right? So those are our possible factors, right? So now we can do, so we'll get either y and 10y, or we got 2y and 5y, okay? And since this is positive here, and this is positive, we're going to say these are going to be pluses. Okay. Now, what about the last term? The last term is 5. Right? So that means we're going to get 5 as a prime number, so the only factors of 5 is going to be 1 and 5. Okay? But it could be switched, right? So is it going to be, so let's do this. So we get 1 plus this, 10y plus this. So it could be switched. So the 1 could go here, or the 5 could go here, or it could be switched 5 and 1. And likewise down here, it could be 1 and 5, or it could be 5 and 1. Okay, and so again, using the trial and error method, we would just basically work all of these out and see which one gives us the form we started with, right? So all of these will give us 10y and 5, right? All of these will give us 10y squared for the first term and 5 for the third term. But it's the middle term that we're very concerned, that we want to make sure gets us right. So we need two factors that are going to end up giving us 27. Okay? So we need to find the combination that gives us a 27y for the middle. Okay? So if we look at this, this gives us 5y plus 10y. That's not going to work. This gives us y and 50y. That's not going to work. This one gives us, oops, wrong one. This gives us 10y and 5y, so that's not going to work. And this one gives us 2y and 25y, which does work. So it turns out that the bottom one here is the correct form. Okay? Now, the thing is what are we looking for here? Well, this one here is 5 and 1. and this is 2 and 5, and this one happened to work. So that is called the trial and error method. Okay? So, and again, that's just one method of use. It's not the best method. It can get pretty complicated, but that is a method that we could use. All right? And we'll learn more.